He's back, folks. The man who once dominated headlines and polarized a nation has returned to the highest office in the land. Just when you thought it was safe to put away the Make America Great Again hats, thinking the era of Trump was a chapter closed, Donald J. Trump is gracing us with his presence in the Oval Office once more. His return has reignited old debates and stirred up fresh controversies. You'd think after 4 years of chaos, controversy, and a near miss with impeachment, the American public would have had enough. America would have learned its lesson. But the allure of his unfiltered rhetoric and promises of a return to greatness proved too compelling for many. But here we are again, 2025, and the more things change, the more they stay the same. The political landscape is as divided as ever, with supporters and detractors more entrenched in their views. Trump promised to drain the swamp, but it seems he just brought in a new breed of swamp creature. His administration is once again under scrutiny for its dealings and decisions. Allegations of corruption are swirling around the 47th and 49th president. From questionable business ties to potential conflicts of interest, the controversies are mounting. From shady business deals to attempts to undermine the very institutions meant to hold him accountable, the narrative feels all too familiar. The checks and balances of democracy are being tested once again. The Teflon Don seems determined to prove that old habits die hard. His speeches are as fiery as ever, rallying his base and infuriating his opponents. Buckle up, America, because this ride is about to get bumpy. The next 4 years promise to be a roller coaster of political drama, social upheaval, and relentless media coverage. Whether you're a supporter or a critic, one thing is certain: the Trump era is far from over. Remember all those promises about separating business from the presidency? Yeah, those seem to have gotten lost somewhere between Trump Tower and the White House. Since returning to office, Trump has been busy expanding his business empire, blurring the lines between personal gain and national interest. Enter Trump Media and Technology Group, the media conglomerate that houses his pride and joy, Truth Social. It's like Twitter, but with less fact-checking and more rants about stolen elections. Then there's World Liberty Financial, Trump's foray into the wild world of cryptocurrency. Forget draining the swamp, Trump's building a gold-plated casino right in the middle of it. It seems even the FBI is having a hard time keeping up with Trump's wheeling and dealing. The Bureau's Public Corruption Squad has launched an investigation into the president's business dealings, sniffing around for any whiff of impropriety. They're particularly interested in allegations that Trump used his position to secure lucrative contracts for his companies, because what's more presidential than a little self-dealing? Rumors are swirling that investigators are combing through financial records, emails, and even tapping phones. Some of Trump's closest allies, including Jared Kushner and Mark Meadows, are reportedly in the hot seat. Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, has been a key figure in many of Trump's business ventures and political maneuvers. Meadows, the former White House chief of staff, is also under scrutiny for his role in various controversial decisions made during Trump's tenure. The investigation is not just limited to financial records. There are whispers that the FBI is also looking into potential misuse of presidential powers, such as leveraging political influence for personal gain. This includes examining any possible connections between Trump's business interests and his policy decisions while in office. The stakes are high, and the implications could be far-reaching, potentially impacting not just Trump, but also his family and close associates. Of course, Trump has denied any wrongdoing, calling the investigation a witch hunt orchestrated by the deep state. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? This isn't the first time Trump has faced allegations of corruption and abuse of power. Throughout his presidency, he has been a polarizing figure, with supporters staunchly defending him and critics calling for accountability. The outcome of this investigation could have significant ramifications for Trump's political future and his legacy. As the investigation unfolds, all eyes are on the FBI and their findings. Will they uncover evidence of corruption? Or will Trump's claims of a witch hunt be vindicated? Only time will tell. One thing is certain: the whispers of corruption are growing louder, and the nation is watching closely. The stakes are high, and the implications could be far-reaching, potentially impacting not just Trump, but also his family and close associates. The outcome of this investigation could have significant ramifications for Trump's political future and his legacy. If there's one thing Trump hates more than losing, it's being held accountable. Throughout his career, both in business and politics, Trump has shown a consistent disdain for oversight and transparency. Whether it's dodging questions from the press or firing officials who dare to challenge him, his actions speak volumes about his attitude towards accountability. So it should come as no surprise that his Justice Department has proposed a little rule change that would make it much harder to investigate and prosecute corrupt politicians. This proposed rule isn't just a minor tweak, it's a significant shift that could have far-reaching implications for how justice is administered in this country. By making it more difficult to hold politicians accountable, this rule change threatens to erode the very foundations of our democratic system. Under this new proposal, the Public Integrity Section, the very division responsible for investigating government corruption, would lose its power to independently indict members of Congress. This means that any investigation into a member of Congress would require approval from higher-ups, effectively placing a political filter on what should be an impartial process. Imagine the chilling effect this could have on whistleblowers and investigators who are trying to do their jobs. That's right, folks. Trump wants to defang the very watchdogs meant to keep him in check. These watchdogs are crucial for maintaining the integrity of our government. They serve as an essential check on power, ensuring that no one, not even the president, is above the law. By weakening these institutions, Trump is not just protecting himself, he's setting a dangerous precedent for future administrations. It's like putting the fox in charge of the henhouse and then handing him a cookbook. This analogy perfectly captures the absurdity and danger of the situation. When those who are supposed to be monitored are given control over the monitoring process, it creates a breeding ground for corruption and abuse of power. The very idea undermines the principles of checks and balances that our democracy is built upon. This blatant attempt to undermine the rule of law has sent shockwaves through Washington and raised serious concerns about the future of American democracy. Lawmakers, activists, and ordinary citizens alike are speaking out against this move, warning that it could lead to a slippery slope of unchecked power and diminished accountability. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the need for vigilance and action has never been more urgent. For those who thought Trump might have learned his lesson after his first impeachment, think again. His second term is shaping up to be a greatest hits compilation of his first, with all the corruption and self-dealing we've come to expect, from the man who once said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose any voters. Remember all those foreign dignitaries lining up to stay at Trump's hotels? Well, they're back, forking over millions of dollars to curry favor with the president. And let's not forget about all those taxpayer dollars Trump funneled into his own businesses, because nothing says fiscal responsibility like charging the Secret Service exorbitant rates to stay at your own resorts. Section 6. The world is a business deal. Foreign influence looms large. For Trump, the world is one giant business deal, and he's not afraid to use the Oval Office to close it. His cozy relationships with foreign governments, particularly those with questionable human rights records, have raised eyebrows since day one. Now with his business empire expanding beyond American borders, those concerns have reached fever pitch. From golf courses in Saudi Arabia to real estate ventures in the United Arab Emirates, Trump seems determined to turn the world into his personal piggy bank. The line between diplomacy and self-enrichment has become so blurred that it's practically invisible. Section 7. The cryptocurrency kingpin, Trump's digital power play. Remember when Trump said he didn't understand Bitcoin? Well, it seems he's had a change of heart. His foray into the world of cryptocurrency with World Liberty Financial has raised more than a few eyebrows. Some speculate that it's just another get-rich-quick scheme, while others worry about the potential for conflicts of interest. What happens when the President of the United States has a vested interest in the success of a volatile and largely unregulated market? Is this the future of American finance, or are we headed for another economic meltdown? Section 8. Truth Social, where free speech meets foreign investment. Trump's Truth Social, his answer to Twitter's censorship, might not be as American as he'd like you to believe. Rumors are swirling that the platform has received significant investments from foreign entities, raising concerns about potential foreign influence on American discourse. So much for America first, right? It seems even Trump's social media platform is subject to the global forces he claims to be fighting against. Section 9. A legacy tarnished, the price of unchecked ambition. Donald Trump's presidency has been a masterclass in pushing the boundaries of acceptable behavior. From blatant self-dealing to attempts to undermine democratic institutions, he has shown a blatant disregard for the norms and conventions that have governed American politics for generations. The potential consequences of his actions are far-reaching, eroding public trust in government, and potentially causing lasting damage to the very fabric of American democracy. The question is, will America hold him accountable before it's too late?